As all of you know, the United States undertook a historic airlift of U.S. citizens, legal permanent residents, and vulnerable Afghans and their families starting several weeks ago. Everyone who's here with us has endured a harrowing journey, and they're now faced with the very real challenges of acclimating to life in the United States. We've been delighted to be a part of welcoming these individuals. So many of our colleagues from the military, from the State Department, from other agencies have reached out to us to share their stories about their time in Afghanistan and the Afghan partners that supported them. I wasn't here for the first flight, but I've heard that when the first flight landed, it was an extremely emotional experience, that there wasn't a dry eye in the room. And now watching the kids around the village and knowing they're safe, it hits home, and it is a reminder of why this mission is so important to all of us across the government and across the country.
So to be a little more specific, our military forces are responsible for receiving the flights here on Fort Bliss at Biggs Army Airfield. We're responsible to transport our Afghan guests to Donyana Village. We provide temporary housing for Afghan guests. We also feed and provide medical care for our Afghan guests. We enable the interagency teammates to make sure they have facilities, they have the communication capability to conduct their part of the operation, and make sure that they are not wanting for any of those capabilities to direct and to drive the operation. And then we provide logistic support to Donyana Village and to the interagency process out at Donyana. A team of teams will continue to provide first-class support to the Department of Homeland Security as the lead federal agency. Okay. That same day, we began our effort to turn Donyana Base Camp, a military training camp, into Donyana Village, again with a capacity of 10,000 bed spaces and all the associated services to support 10,000 people. 4 days later, on the 21st of August, the first flight of Afghan personnel arrived at Biggs Army Airfield. And yes, it was an emotional event. I was there, and I can confirm there was not a dry eye in the room. Very emotional event as we received that first flight. Since then, we've received over 80 flights of Afghan personnel. We've integrated those new guests into Donyana Village, while continuing the construction effort to expand the capacity and to improve the quality of life. As we created additional capacity, we received flights to fill that capacity. So this was an ongoing effort to build capacity and then to then accommodate the incoming guests as they arrived. On 1 September, 15 days after the start of the construction and expansion effort, we achieved that directed capacity of 10,000 bed spaces with the essential services to support those people who would eventually be living in Donyana Village.
Our goal here on Fort Bliss is to ensure the safety of the folks who are under our care and to as expeditiously process them and allow them to move on to cities where they can begin their lives in the U.S.